The very first time I came into a lesson with my first and favorite drum teacher, Miroslav Karlovic, I was very excited to play for him. So I ran to the drum set, I sat down and grabbed my sticks, but before I could get a note out, Carlo said, wait. Before you start playing, let's look at how you're actually sitting at the drum set. Being a kid, all excited to play, I didn't really give much significance to this aspect, but it has served me very well later on. Essentially, the very first thing that we should think about when we talk about our positioning on the drum set is balance. And the way to achieve balance is by using the throne for exactly what it should be used for, which is to take your weight, the weight of your body. So if you think about the weight of your body from the top of your head all the way through your core should be comfortably resting and be taken and grounded in through the throne. When you think of your legs, ideally, the top part of your legs, so from the hips to the knee, should also be a feeling of being centered into the seat. Either that, or try this thought experiment. Try to think of your thighs going in a straight vector towards the opposing wall. So the point is not to encumber either the arms or the lower parts of our legs, which are the parts of our body that we actually use to play the drums. So when I sit down, I'm about 2/3 of the seat are full and the back part of the seat is empty. So there is no part of me on the back part of the seat. And then what I check for initially, and especially I do this with students when they come in, is I make sure that their posture is straight, because lots of slouching can bring about very bad back problems in the long run. So what you want to make sure is that not only you're aware of these things for playing ease and ergonomics in the sense of movement around the kit and your balance, but also to make sure that you are considering the aspect of your well-being and the fact that you want to last playing the instrument and not have back issues. So using the sort of the yoga trick of pulling the navel towards the spine, sitting up nice and straight, opening up the chest so you're able to actually take deep breaths that'll feed your energy as you're playing. So making sure that all those things are in place, then you can actually put your feet on the pedals. Like I said, Carlo wouldn't even let me put my feet on the pedals before he checked my sitting position. So once you have your feet on the pedals, they should not be, because the weight of your body is in the seat, the pedals should not be encumbered by the weight of your legs. So if the seat is taking your weight, then your legs aren't. Same with the arms. If you're sitting properly without leaning forward or leaning back, then your arms are free to move. And then, of course, in the following videos, this being the very first one where we practically won't even play a note, all of the things that I talked about in terms of the sitting, the balance, the weight into the chair as opposed to the arms and legs will make a lot more sense once we start giving examples of this. Other than this, clearly we're all built differently. So your height, your throne height will have to depend somewhat on how tall or how not tall you are. So this is always, as we're not, like I said, as we're not built equally, everybody has to come to their own conclusions by literally trial and error. But I will just talk about the things that make sense as principles, and then you will take them as your guiding light and move through your own physique. The other thing I wanted to talk about before I start playing is the distances and the heights of the drums and cymbals. One of the most important philosophies that Miroslav Karlovic, the above-mentioned Carlo, has imparted to me is that we attempt to play a drum set, which is clearly not a one-level instrument. So the cymbals on one level, this tom, and if there are any more toms in the rack, would be a second level, as well as the hi-hat. And then we have the floor tom or toms and snare drum on the third level. Then feet are a separate thing. But trying to play as if they were all on one level. which means it doesn't necessarily mean that things have to be close in a literal sense, but it does mean that they have to be close to your reach. That way you get to a point where you can, not literally, but in a way of, empirically, in a way of experience, figuring out a way to play the drum set as if it were a pad, which is way easier. You have all these levels to move through, but you're maintaining this position of, and this idea of playing one level surface. So we'll obviously get into all of this and more, but to recap, so making sure that you're sitting nice and tall, making sure that the weight of your entire upper body and the upper legs are all, or is all in the seat, so that your arms and your legs are not, lower legs are not encumbered by any excess weight. And then making sure that the distance to every drum or every cymbal that you have is comfortable for you. In other words, there's no need to create huge stretches or no need to put things too close if that is not your comfort. We'll move on from here.